And we're now live broadcasting. Hello, this is John here from It's More Than Just Gaming.com, and welcome to the first in our online Dungeons and Dragons game. I am joined by a couple of my friends this evening. First of all, we've got Amy from Writing into the Ether. Say hello, Amy.
Hello.
And we've got my friend Pete also joining us this evening. Say hello, Pete.
Hello.
And Amy, who are you going to be playing this evening?
I am going to be playing Vi. She is a human druid, and it's short for Violetta. And yeah, that's about it, really. That's all you're going to know for now.
That's fine. Pete, who are you playing?
I am playing Mori Halffist, a traveling monk / apothecary of dwarven origin of no fixed abode.
That last sentence just makes you want to cry a little bit. He's got no home, no rock to call his own.
He has several rocks. They belong to other people, but he has several of them.
I didn't see any levels of rogue on your character sheet.
Oh no, he didn't steal them. He just took them. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I see that hand axe is very good at splitting hairs
and people.
Right. Okay. So this is going to be in a homebrew setting called, which I have created because it's homebrew. It's the Iron Empire campaign setting. Basic information about the setting will actually be shared on the website where this video will appear, and there will be a link back to it. So if you want to use any of it, feel free. The information will be significantly more detailed than what's going on in this particular game, because this particular game is going to focus in on one particular area. Vi and Mori are already an existing adventuring duo, I guess. And they have been invited by an acquaintance of theirs, Professor Amber Oakenhearth, of the Royal Archaeological Society. She is a dwarf, by the way, if you didn't get that. And she sent a letter to you both to meet in the town of Tormere, I think it was. Yes. And this is a copy. You should be seeing a copy of the letter on screen just now.
Indeed.
Yep.
Although, if you were paying attention to Facebook at the weekend, I was a busy little bee, and I shared it on Facebook at the weekend.
Yes, I've done my homework.
So, yes, Professor I misspelled her name there. Should be Hearth at the end, not Oakenheart. Oh, well. Oh, actually, no, I misspelled it somewhere else. It is Oakenheart. I'm talking crap. Yes. So, yes, she has invited you to the village of Tormere, which is a small village on the banks of Lake Tor, which is in the human kingdom of Kiltear. Do you want to just spitball a little bit about how you two, as an adventuring duo, or do you want to just get right into?
Well, we met in the pub, as all good friends do, a long while ago. And yeah, I think it's like people just kind of, overhearing interesting people on the way and just decided to join forces. I'd say that was about fair.
Well, we have not so much similar interests, but you like forests, and I spend a lot of time in forests digging up roots and then brewing those roots into pastes to try and help people, because I'm an apothecary.
So, shared interests.
Yeah, exactly. Finding quite amusing, actually.
He's obviously not seen your charisma score then.
or my background story. John has. John's seen my background story.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, well, I guess amusing, or perhaps just a little odd and intriguing.
That's a good description.
Yeah.
For most of Pete's characters, to be honest.
Odd and intriguing, I find quite funny.
I dare you to find one that's not. Anyway.
Yes. I've never played with it one. Okay, so Yeah, Tormir is a little village. You are going to be. I'm going to move off the letter just now because actually the map that was on the first screen is the local area.
Okay.
And if I can get the ping to work,
Ping. Mm-hmm.
that's where Tormir is.
Yes.
Yes, so the Kingdom of Kiltir is part of a much larger continent, which is approximately about 400 miles wide and 200 to 300 miles tall. But obviously you're not going to be trekking all over that. The continent forms the basis of the Iron Empire, which is a dwarven empire. The humans have the Kingdom of Kiltir. It's tribal territory, so it's their law underneath dwarven rule, basically. Tormir is a fishing village for Lake Tor. You arrive there at night. It is actually quite... it's a well-lit village. The road is quite well maintained. Instead of your standard dirt track, you've got a fairly well maintained road with sort of like gravel pounded into it. And instead of wooden shacks and things like that, you actually have stone dwellings all the way through, not just the blacksmiths or anything like that. There are torches down the main street, keeping it lit up. And you can see that there are any number of humans wandering around. The dominant population in this part of the world is human. And you can see plenty of them wandering around. They don't really pay you much attention because people passing through is not that unusual in any given part of the empire. You can see there are a couple of village guards are nailing a notice to a post at one of the central buildings. You have been invited to attend upon Professor Oakenhart at the local inn, which is called the Drunken Farmer.
Love that place.
You've been there before?
Yeah, every time I come here, I head straight there.
Yep. The locals are about as friendly as always, which is to say they're quite standoffish.
Yeah.
They're not hostile to you, but they keep themselves apart from you. And you do get the impression that you are being watched from time to time by the various people wandering around.
Okay, yeah, that's standard to me.
I'm feeling a little bit nervous in case they might have heard of me.
Everywhere I go, I usually get stares anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, right enough.
Yeah.
So, in terms of facilities, we wander into the village. What else are we seeing? Is it bog standard stuff? The little blacksmith things like that?
You've got blacksmith at it's the first building you walk past on the way in. It's at the outskirts. You can see that at the center of you've got rows of houses along the main street, and you can see that at sort of like the central at the center of town. There's sort of like a because the town's actually in between a fork in the road, so you actually have a road running through the town here. Then there are small tracks running off to the side as the houses spread out a little bit. You have slightly larger buildings towards the center. You can see one of the larger buildings is the one where the guards are actually nailing a notice up. Across from that is the second large building. These are the two biggest. The second large building is lit up where the first one is not. You can see people milling around outside. You can see light pouring out from an open door. You can hear a little bit of a buzz from inside, a little bit of music.
So how far away are the guards that are nailing up the notice? Can I have a look at the notice?
You can. Are you trying to be sneaky about it, or are you just going to walk up and look at it?
are they wandering away, or are they still in process of nailing up the notice? I'll probably just walk over.
It'll take them maybe 30 seconds or less to stick the notice up. It's just like something is hanging there. They drove one nail into a wooden post and they wandered off.
Okay, well, I'll just casually walk up then, I guess, and have a little look.
Okay. It's a wanted poster.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And it says side quest. No, it says it is a wanted poster for a half orc by the name of Thok Bloodfist, a notorious pirate captain of a ship known as the Sea Drake, who has been seen in the area, which is a little bit unusual because if you look at the screen just now, each of those boxes is about 10 kilometers. So you're quite far away from the sea when you get right down to it.
I'm about to say, isn't this next to a lake? And it's
Yes.
it's called the Sea. Sea what?
Sea Drake.
Sea Drake.
Yeah, I'm not saying his ship's there.
Okay.
The Lake Drake would not roll off the tongue. He is the bounty is for 500 gold pieces paid by the Kilterian crown. There is a very detailed picture of Thok. He is, like I say, he's a half orc. He is big, muscular, slightly green skinned. He has a massive scar over, or various scars over his body. He's wanted for piracy, murder, desertion, treason, bribing imperial and provincial officials, assault, and destruction of property.
Okay, so
Wanted for being
he's a bad
pirate.
guy. Wanted for being a bad guy.
Wanted for being epitome of a pirate.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the highlights. There's more details underneath, but basically it lists the titles of his crimes and then goes into a little bit more detail.
Okay. Does it say anything about him being like notoriously like dangerous or wearing anything or anything like that, or is it just like?
It does say that he is exceedingly dangerous and should be approached with caution or not at all. It actually lists various piracy crimes, like a number of Kilterian trading vessels that have actually been captured by the Sea Drake and plundered by him. It lists any number of bureaucrats, merchants, standard people that have been assaulted / murdered by him or people under his command. It also lists that he was once a member of the Royal Marine Auxilia before he became a pirate.
Okay.
I think we should kill him.
Have fun finding him.
Okay.
I'm
Cool.
a dwarf. Craft submarine. Anyway, yeah.
Make your roll, please. Yeah, you fail.
I know. I thought I might. I had a slight suspicion it wouldn't work.
You have a serviceable but leaky submarine.
It's an upside down bathtub.
Actually, to be honest, it was more likely to be an upside down boat
Yes.
because you're on a lake shore.
True.
Okay, yes. So there's a little bit of flavor for what's going on in the local area, and maybe it's relevant.
Okay. Cool. So, shall we head to the pub then?
Let's.
Great.
Okay, so you head into the Drunken Farmer.
Sorry, John. Just before we enter, can I just ask what kind of doors are there on the Drunken Farmer?
Are you wanting it to be saloon doors?
If they are, can I dramatically enter?
Yes, of course.
You know what?
I knew that you would ask that question.
I'm going to allow this.
It's an important thing. He knows what my charisma score is, so
I'm going to allow this. Make a performance check.
-1.
Okay,
8.
so
I got 8.
it's not a botch, so the doors don't slam back into your face and knock you over.
Excellent.
Because that's what would have happened. Yeah, you wander in, you try, but actually you misjudge the door, and you actually only manage to swing one of them dramatically. The other one doesn't budge. You sort of like stumble through, and the best you can manage is people aren't paying you any attention at all, except a couple of sniggers from the corner of the room.
I just like slow clap. It's like, you always try this. You always try. Every single time you see a saloon door, you have to try it.
I can't help it. It's who I am.
Oh
I can
dear.
dream, can't I?
Okay, so
So I think someone's been out their own herbs.
right. Okay, so who's around? Who can we see when we go in?
Okay. Yes. It is. Like I said, it's a predominantly human area, so it's no surprise to you. What?
No, I'm just thinking: are there any sort of mysterious people wearing long robes that are unknown, wet for no apparent reason, hiding in a dark corner?
I'm trying to see where you're going with this, Pete.
They
Call him Strider. No.
Oh, I see.
No. Can we see our friend?
You can. I'll describe the
our
room.
certain friend. Yes,
yes.
Brilliant.
But no, you do not see Viggo Mortensen in the corner because your perception's too low. Okay, yes, it is quite a large. So it's a large common room for an inn. This village is quite prosperous. You got that impression from the well-constructed street, the fact that it's lit up and there are guards still out. People are wandering around. They're unarmed. And it's all stone buildings. The room is pretty full. You got various men and women all around at various tables, drinking, eating food. You can see it is mostly humans in here. You can see a couple of tieflings in here as well. And you can see one other dwarf other than Maury, which is your friend, the professor. Professor Oakenheart is sitting in the corner. She's fairly young for a dwarf. I think 45 would be considered young by dwarven standards.
Very, very.
Yeah. And still a professor. The Royal Archaeological Society is one of the larger organizations that is non-military within the Empire, and it's funded by the Dwarven High King. So it's got a fair amount of prestige, and to be a professor and a member is actually quite prestigious. Professor Oakenheart, she, like I say, she's a young dwarf. She has red hair that's tied back. She looks quite young for a dwarf, as in a little bit more baby-faced rather than rugged. She's wearing the dwarven equivalent of a brown shirt and shorts with some like leather armor. Or actually, did I put her as leather armor? Or did I give her more than that? Nope, she's wearing chain, just in case you lot get into trouble. She's wearing a chain shirt over her brown shirt, and you can see a pith helm sitting on the table next to her. She's got a tankard in front of her, and she waves over to you. Hello!
Wave back and head over. Hello!
Hello!
Good to meet you here at last.
I'm so glad you came. I was hoping I wasn't going to have to move on without you. Yes, it's very good to see you.
We had to pick up some herbs on the way, so
I had trouble with the door.
Yes, so you did. Did you have a good journey?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, to be honest.
Nice and peaceful. We saw that poster about the pirate.
Oh yes, yes. I think we might have a discussion about him at some point, actually.
Oh dear. I feel that we need to go somewhere anyway in the meantime, so yeah.
Well, that's why you're here. Okay. Do you want to get something to eat, something to drink before we get down to business?
Sure. Okay. What are people eating in here? Like, what can we see?
Stew, pretty much. Stew or soup. And you can have your choice of white bread with either.
Is it vegan?
Probably not.
I'll pretend it's vegan.
One human food, please.
Your finest human food, please.
Yep. I will nab a big bowl of soup.
Okay.
Yep, I'll go for the soup too.
Okay.
And I will sprinkle it with some choice herbs from my collection.
Okay. Fair enough. The professor will pay for your meal this evening, because she's
thank
nice
you.
that way.
Does she pay for the drinks?
She'll pay for the first one.
Okay.
She's not going to pay for the entire night. One, she's not stupid. She didn't become a professor by being an idiot. Okay, so she has a little bit of banter with you whilst you're eating, she's trying to relax a little bit. She's talking just about her various travels all around, the continent, really, because her work takes her everywhere. Eventually, once the food's very good, by the way, it's very good quality. Quite obviously not vegan food. Sorry, but it's not. They don't have any concept of that in this world. Perhaps if the campaign runs long, it's something you can institute. I'm not saying it's impossible.
The world must learn your peaceful ways by force,
if necessary. There was an entire episode of Voltron about that, I'm sure.
There's an entire episode of Futurama about that.
Yeah, I bet there's others as well. Okay, so yes, I've got a job. I've got an expedition that I'm going on, and I need some help of some reliable sorts who can help me with difficult travel, but also it could be dangerous. And you two have got a good reputation, not only for your honesty, but also your ability.
He's got a good reputation.
I have a reputation. I'm good at my job, but I also have a reputation. Let's just hope they won't find me. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's totally okay. Don't worry. It was all a big misunderstanding. It's just they weren't understanding that not all herbs do the same thing.
Yep.
And only 3 people died. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll leave this for another day.
Okay. I don't like talking about it too much out loud because, you never know who's listening.
Yeah, there's a couple of tieflings over there. I'm not sure they'll appreciate that. That story.
See these tieflings, right? I know it's a modern time and things have changed, but I just can't. I just don't trust them. Just don't.
Actually, the professor responds to that. Actually, I found some of them to be quite honourable and capable.
Oh, I'm sure. But blood will tell. Blood will tell.
She just pauses and looks blankly at you for about 5 seconds. Moving on.
Sorry, I cut out there for a second. I didn't hear that. Sorry.
She looks blankly at you for 5 seconds and then says, "Moving on."
Yes, indeed.
So we're going into the Mariner Fens, which I'm sure you're familiar with the area. Not intimately familiar, or at least familiar what it is. But just for because obviously, you've travelled from quite distant lands, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown. The Mariner Fens are about 20 kilometers west of here, and it is quite a large swamp ringed by rivers and the Lake Tor. And our expedition takes us deep into the Fens. The reason we're going into a snake and goodness knows what other infested swamp, is because over the years, a few relics have been found in the fens. Pieces of armor, weapons with blazons that we've got no record of, devices that have ambiguous provenance, fragments of maps and drawings of cities that don't exist. All of these things have turned up in the fens, and that's just made me think that there's a little bit more going on in there than just being a swamp. I mean, sorry, go on.
Sorry, how old are these weapons, and are they like ancient or?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Hundreds of years.
Magically ancient or just corroded relic ancient?
Mostly corroded ancient. We have turned up the very occasional magical weapon or artifact. We found similar in utility to the things that that you sometimes find or can have crafted. So a charm to make something easier, a weapon that can cut through stuff.
Cut through stuff. That's what I like.
Yes, that was one of my best finds actually. The stuff cutter.
Even more impressive that it was a hammer.
It was.
Amazing. That sounds like there's some kind of ancient history there. So yeah, I'm interested in that for sure.
And also, these fens are a wonderful source of rare and strange herbs.
Well, I'm glad you both look at it that way. I was hoping that your own personal interests would help you become invested. I need to so there's a little bit more information I can give you before we set out. The consensus of the society, and when she says the society, you can both of you make an insight check if you want.
Okay. 6.
Insight's wisdom. I get a +4 to that. So that makes it an 8.
So, yeah, she says the society, and there is no hidden subtext there.
Hooray!
Oh, hold on. I did not. No, it's 12 for me. I think.
You get a
+6 insight. So 12. That's me not adding it.
Right enough.
There's a slight hidden subtext to this.
Yes. There is a little bit of there is a subtext of perhaps bitterness or cynicism there when she says the society. The consensus of the society is that artifacts are evidence of a previous kingdom that existed where the fens now are. We know that historically there was some kind of cataclysm in the distant past that actually created the swamp in the first place. Perhaps some kind of tidal wave or something like that that flooded the fens, drowning the kingdom. Or at least that's what the society thinks. It's not what I believe.
What do you think?
I think there might be some merit in the idea that some external watery factor did in fact create the fens. I don't believe that it was a kingdom in and of its own right. I think it was more likely to be an outpost.
An outpost?
Or a colony, not a kingdom itself. It's just a theory.
So something that's been overthrown?
Or lost. Or cut off.
Have you found any bones?
It's hard to find bones that actually survive. I mean, you do occasionally get them, yes. And when you do find them, they're well preserved. This is my English degree coming in because of Seamus Heaney poetry. They find 2,000-year-old bones in Irish bogs, and they're remarkably preserved. In fact, it's not bones, it's bodies. Like a 2,000-year-old corpse that actually looks like it's been dead for about a week.
But it's also brown and looks like it's made of leather.
Yes,
Oh.
I'm not suggesting there hasn't been some decay.
It's funny. It's not, so these are bug bodies, not to be confused with bug blokes. So
Okay.
actually, what wildlife have you come across in this thing? What might we encounter?
That's a very good question.
Things we have to punch.
Snakes, crocodiles.
Why did it have?
Sorry, go on. Pete, you're cutting out.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Snakes aren't so bad. Depends, like, yeah, I guess crocodiles are probably worse.
They're significantly worse for you, Pete.
They're all worse for me.
Actually, some snakes are probably worse than crocodiles, given that they can actually extend their jaw. You ever seen a dwarf, a snake with a dwarf in its body?
It's called a crocodile.
It's called a dead snake, usually, actually. The crocodile thrashes about inside and kills the snake and then drowns. Poor thing. Both of them. Literally biting off more than it can chew. Anyway, so, yeah, I think it was an outpost. We do find bones and preserved remains very rarely. Very rarely. From the studies, we believe they were human or humanoid.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The artifacts we found in the fens, we haven't found them anywhere else. If they're, from my perspective as a researcher, if they're evidence of a former kingdom, surely there'll be evidence elsewhere. Ruins, pictures, stories, but there isn't. It's like something just wiped it off the face of the map, but it was confined to one part of the map. Plus, there's the name itself. Mariner Fence. Why would it be called that? I think that's a clue. But my colleagues don't always... Well, my colleagues and I don't always see eye to eye.
So there's no records of why it's called that?
No. And believe me, I've checked.
Okay. This sounds intriguing to me.
Well,
when do we go?
It is a bit late to be going this evening.
Of course.
But I would suggest first light tomorrow.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
I think there might be a way to possibly kill two birds with one stone here. But if we make a big hoo-ha about our leaving and we go some of the way on a large boat, perhaps we'll attract the attention of a certain pirate and might be able to trap the person.
As long as it's better than your weird upside down submarine thing.
Listen. I just because I'm a dwarf doesn't mean I can't make anything I want to whenever I feel like it, right? So I tried very hard, and next time I will make it into something resembling an ironclad. I'm sure. That's the problem. There wasn't enough metal.
Okay, I have faith in you.
At least someone does. Yes, we could probably hire a boat. Yes, of course. Let's actually talk about because obviously whilst you're clearly interested, I don't imagine you're going to put yourself in harm's way for free.
Well, as long as it helps the average common working man and we get our expenses covered, I have no real issue with working at cost, I guess.
I was kind of I was just kind of assuming that you were going to pay us. I'm really sorry.
Well, I was, in fact.
Oh, amazing!
It's honest money for honest labor.
Of course.
Now, just the society itself isn't sponsoring the expedition. You can visibly see her rolling her eyes at this point.
Oh no.
However, a private investor is. An associate of mine who is something of a collector of antiquities who does some assaying for me is funding this.
I can't believe that the society, your society, don't want to fund this. It sounds amazing. It sounds really intriguing.
Dear, have you ever known any society, any large organization to be free of politics?
True. I'm not really sure on that, but
I dare say your colleague has encountered it.
Yes, well, the Ars Medicae are an interesting bunch of people with many, many different opinions on many, many different things. Sometimes the best thing to do is just to get your head down and do your job and let them all murder each other by their own thing.
okay.
Right. Not sure how to take that. Okay, anyway, so this private investor has managed to provide something of a map. It's not flawless. In fact, it's very basic. But he and I are both confident that if we can actually find the starting point of the map, it will actually lead us to our answer. And she basically pulls a map out of a pouch and
Okay.
puts it on the table in front of you. Can you see it?
Oh,
Yes.
I see it now.
Yes. Like I say, it's a very, very basic thing. This was not retrieved from the Fens itself. We were able to approximate it from, let's say we approximated it from research. We know that we're looking for a specific artifact. We believe the artifact I'm looking for, we believe, whilst the society doesn't believe my theories about the Fens themselves, they have loaned some of the resources to confirm certain things. The location I've marked as B on the map is we believe it to be a village or ruins of a village, and we believe that's where we'll find it. You asked about magical relics. The reason we were able to zero in on it is we could detect that there was magic involved. Some kind of relic is there. And it's not something we've encountered before. That is our objective. The location I've marked as A on the map. We know that the village is deep within the Fens, but we also know that there is about a day's march directly east into the Fens, and then south for a couple of hours, there's a statue.
Oh, okay. And that's where the statue is.
That's where the statue is.
Okay.
And C, my sponsor said, don't go to C, something bad lives
What is
there.
the statue of?
We think it was possibly one of their heroes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, why does your private investor have such an investment in this particular voyage?
He's a collector of antiquities. So we've worked in the past sometime, and not everything that I unearth when sponsored by him goes back to the society. Sometimes it goes into his own collection for his own private research.
Oh, okay.
It's a mutual thing.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned your upkeep earlier. You'll get paid your upkeep within reason. If you agree to take the job, you'll be paid 40 gold pieces upon taking the job as your payment, and if in case you need to purchase anything, although I wouldn't necessarily advise it because they tend to be quite expensive here in Tormir. Upon completion, you will be... I am reliably informed that you will be given an item from my colleague's collection.
Okay. Interesting. Any indication of what that might be?
No, he didn't say.
Okay. So, what is C on the map?
We believe it's some kind of predator.
Okay.
Go there. Something dangerous lives there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's probably lots of dangerous things, but that
Oh, how
one,
fun!
but that particular location was apparently resonating when we were checking.
Okay.
They're obviously the swamps themselves are dangerous and treacherous. We've already covered the snakes and the crocodiles. You mentioned the pirate earlier. There's just the possibility he's involved in this somehow. When my investor contacted me, he wrote to me to let me know that his shop was visited by rather a large half orc, looking for maps and lore about the fens.
Okay.
So we might not be the only
Does-
people in there looking.
do
That's
you-
another reason you're here.
Do you know if he travels alone or
Well, he's a pirate. I guess he's got a crew.
he's got a crew?
Also, do you happen to know what it was that he bought, if anything?
I don't think he bought anything.
Okay.
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 So vigilance always.
Well, that is just prudent.
I was restricted because we may have been able to predict his movements. Okay. Well, in which case, perhaps we should separate just now, get rooms sorted for the night, pick up some basic supplies in the morning, and we can head off by barge then.
Okay.
Very well.
To the bedmobiles.
To the bedpoles.
Is she paying for the room, or we have to pay a set
She'll
amount
pay for the
room?
room. She's a little bit. She's not massively keen on paying for the barge because you could walk there.
We could walk, or we could take
if-
a barge.
It's up to you. But she'll
just
pay for your accommodation.
As we're
But
sort of walking around, can I?
Pete, I lost
Hello?
you.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
I've
think
lost
there's a
him
bit of lag.
too.
I think there's a bit of lag going on.
Hello.
Hello. I'm just wondering if it's possible if while we're going around, if I can see anyone who looks a bit under the weather, maybe looks a little bit sick, if I can keep my eyes open for them.
Just on the way.
Yeah, just as we're walking around, just in the town.
Are you leaving the inn to do that?
If we've got time before bed, then yes. Or actually, I'll have a look around the inn as well, I guess. Just anybody who looks like they're injured, they're nursing a wound, they're a bit sick, under the weather, got a runny nose.
Okay. There's no one within the inn that is matching that description, certainly.
Okay. They're all in good health.
I think I'm going to get an early night and head on to bed myself while he scopes out sick people.
It's my job.
Normally it's the rogue that does this sort of thing. Yes, I'm going out to see if I can heal people. Yes, that'll be 5 gold pieces. What, you don't have insurance? Oh, well.
10 gold pieces. You can pay me back in installments. So, of 10 gold pieces for the rest of your life.
Okay, so
No, not quite that bad. But yeah, no, just seeing if there's anyone I can help.
If you take a wander around the town, make
medicine perception.
I'm gonna go with medicine check.
That's a 16.
It is indeed. Okay. So well lit. You can see not so much injured, but people staggering about more than drunkenness might account for.
Okay.
You can dilated pupils, staggering, slurred speech.
Can I make a bit of a medical check to see if I can tell what state they're in?
Yeah, I actually, with a dice roll like that, I'm not going to make you roll again. You reckon that they're either absolutely steaming drunk, or they're on some form of narcotic.
Can I use my herbalism kit and my little stash of bits and bobs to whip up a quick sort of, let's call it a purgative or a purative?
I call this potion shit the bed. Anyway, okay. Make a medicine check. You will need to roll for this one.
Yes. Well, that's a 13.
Okay. I will let you know. You have made something.
I always make something.
You have made something. At this point, you're reasonably confident that it's not going to kill anyone, which is always a plus. Now you need a test subject or guinea pig.
This is the fun part. I will approach one of the men who are staggering around a little bit and just sort of good-naturedly give him a good old friendly pat on the back. How are you doing, sir?
You had red hair.
Yeah, here. I found this. It's tasty. And I just hold it up to him.
Make a is there a persuasion skill? Yes, but do it with advantage.
Ooh, okay. Do I do this? Just checking. Is this rolling 2d20 or 1d20 twice?
Roll 2d20, and then obviously apply your persuasion modifier.
-1.
Oh my.
Yeah, so that's a 1 or a 3.
Yep. So, smells rotten.
Yeah, well, sometimes things that smell bad are good for you.
No, don't wanna.
Well, okay. Here, take it and give it to your friend over there.
Huh?
And point at the other guy. You said there was more than one person that were
I did say that. The reason I was pausing, sorry, it's because you can't see my face, but you can see. It looks like there's trying to be thinking going on there. And reaches out at your little concoction.
The magical dwarf says herbs are your friend.
And he staggers over to someone else, who is also looking a little bit bleary-eyed. Here, try this. It's good stuff. And the other individual just takes your little sort of like pouch or little bottle or vial and just necks what it is, and it tastes horrible. Mm.
The magic dwarf has done his work.
And you see him then running.
Excellent. My work here is done.
Let's see if he fails his Constitution save. Was that a 1 or a 7?
Either way, it's not good.
Okay, as he is running away, it's a 1. Yeah, I'm not going to do a full graphic description. Suffice it to say, the alley got smellier.
Hooray!
Oh, God.
Oh dear.
I can smell it wafting up from the alley below, up through my window.
You literally can. Pete, what you made was potent stuff.
I'm like,
excellent.
Oh my God! And this.
I shall remember this recipe for usage, possibly in a weaponized form.
Oh God.
Okay. I'll be thoroughly satisfied, and with my dwarven sense of lack of smell and everything else, just suck it up and move on.
Well, yeah, I think your dwarven Constitution save is probably the only thing protecting you right now.
Resistance to everything, hooray!
Resistance, yeah. So yes, having done your good deed for the day, you return to the inn where a room has been provided for you.
Excellent. On the other side of the tavern from the alleyway?
Hang on a second. Odds, yes. Evens, no. Evens, you got a 4. No.
Okay, that's fine.
If it was a 1, you'd be right above it.
I shall light a candle.
Okay, so yes, you unless you have any other plans, you are going to go to bed and sleep.
Okay. I have no other plans. Amy? Sorry, V?
No,
Vi?
right. No, it's fine. I was already kind of trying to sleep, but woke up after that friggin' horrible stench.
So next morning,
I saved that man's life.
I'm
for
sure
all
you did.
know, that's true.
Are you telling me
Oh.
this over breakfast?
He had a bad night. Right. Okay. Yes. It is the next morning. You are awakened by sunlight coming in through your windows.
And is it kind of making it smell any better out there, or is the sun just baking it up and making it worse?
Actually, you can't smell it anymore.
Oh, good.
If you look out, if you look out the window, you can see that there is no evidence of what happened the night before. I guess actually, yeah, it would be a good few hours. So actually, there is no evidence of anything that's happened there. You're not quite. Obviously, Amy, you don't know what went on there.
No, I just smelt something awful. So I check out of the window and I see nothing, and I'm very confused.
But also, it's not smelly anymore, and that's good.
Yes.
Pete, also, you smell nothing. You look out the window, and there is no evidence of your handiwork in the alleyway.
Excellent. A full recovery.
And so I look at you from my window. I'm guessing are our windows next to each other if we're both looking at the alleyway?
Let's say yes.
Okay, so I look at him looking out of his window, and I'm just like making like a side eye at him, like, I know that you did something. I don't know what it is, but I know it was you.
I just wave. Hello. Did you have a good night's sleep?
I just grunt and walk away
Oh.
to go downstairs.
As bad as it was, some towns are smellier. This is generally a nice smelling part of civilization. There are some parts that are not.
I mean, I've been to Cope Bridge, man, so...
Yeah, so have I.
Anyway.
Okay, so you go downstairs, and the professor is there, and there. Would you like some breakfast?
Sure. Okay. What's going on? What's going on today? What's for breakfast?
I think the options were porridge and bacon.
So nothing vegan then?
Is porridge not vegan?
No, it has milk.
Only if you make it with milk.
Okay, I'll make it with water.
Okay.
I will have both, please.
Bacon porridge.
Yep.
You're actually looking around. You're actually not the only person doing that.
I didn't think I would be. See, these people have sense and taste and know a good meal when they see one.
I'm just choking down my water porridge.
You've probably eaten worse when you've visited civilization and it is not accommodating to your needs.
Yes. Used to it.
Yeah, you're used to it. For all that the people here can be polite, sometimes they don't understand your ways.
No, I just silently accept that I'm an outcast.
And you silently sit there and judge them.
Exactly. Yeah.
In fact, I'm reasonably certain that is on your character sheet.
Yes.
So yes. Yeah. Did you hear the commotion last night?
I didn't hear anything.
It was quite late. A couple of the guards had to escort one of the townsfolk. I think they needed to escort him to the cells for a little bit of a rest. He made a hell of a mess and quite a bit of noise. There was they were busy with buckets of water for many hours last night.
Oh gosh, that sounds awful.
The body is good at purging itself of unwanted things. Sometimes it just needs a helpful nudge.
I just look at him even more suspicious. Can I tell that he's up to something or he's done something?
I'll just own up to it if you ask.
Having travelled with him
Yes.
and knowing how odd and amusing he is, you're reasonably certain that the
Yes.
events are connected.
I'll talk to you about this later. If we're going to continue to travel together, we've got to have a chat about this.
If you're having trouble sleeping, I'm sure I've got something for that here, actually.
I'm fine. I have my own kit, thank you.
Yeah, but you don't have all my herbs.
Breakfast continues on in silence at that point. With the professor sort of like staring at her porridge.
So, are we feeling ready to do this?
Oh, yes, of course.
Excellent. Now, we did talk about, there's the option of travel. I presume, can we get there by foot, boat, or horse and cart? Is there a foot boat? Is there a method you prefer, and which is quickest? I presume that time is a matter of essence.
Well, we could certainly walk to the edge of the fens in a day without any problem if we keep a good pace. A boat would likely get us there quicker, but I'm not eager to start blundering into the fens until a new day, because by the time we get there, it'll be late afternoon, and I don't want to go through swamps with the sun going down if it's not a good idea.
Do we have anywhere that we know we can stay once we've been traveling through the swamps for a day, or is there a place we're going to head to? Like, is it to the village?
Well, there's no refuges or sanctuaries, if that's what you mean. We'll need to camp.
Okay.
That's fine. Camping will be okay.
Fine with me. I don't know if I've got a tent though.
I don't think you do, actually.
Perhaps we should get one.
But you're a druid, are you not?
Yes.
Summon greater.
I can't do that.
A really big tree appears. Great.
Create a large pile of leaves.
I can produce flame. That's about it.
Okay. I'm sure we can craft a rudimentary thing, but our bedrolls should probably suffice. Unless, what's the weather forecast?
Swamp.
We're not in rainy season. It would be very treacherous going if it was rainy. Beyond that, we can just hope that the weather holds.
I think the bedroll should suffice, if not
well, certainly a bivouac could be arranged whilst we're out there. We can.
Oh my, yes.
There's plenty of wood in the swamp.
Okay.
And I have an axe.
You do. And I pat him on the shoulder.
And chopping down trees with axes is totally okay. It's fine. Yeah.
Yes, I have one too.
Yeah.
Professor pulls out a similar-sized hand axe.
We touch axe heads. Dunk. Dwarf power.
I roll my eyes.
You're only rolling your eyes because you're not a dwarf. You'd get it if you were. You'd understand.
Just don't get you, right? I get it.
Okay. Do you want to get a tent before we go, or are you happy to try and find shelter?
I feel completely reassured by my friend here.
Okay.
I would, if there's a place in town where I could pick up some basic sort of extra, maybe a bit of extra rope, a hammer, some extra flint and tinder, some extra dry kindling and whatnot, just in case.
Okay, hang on a second.
I think I have those things.
You will certainly have the hammer. You will certainly have a tinderbox. Pete, you don't because you took the explorer's kit rather than the dungeoneer's kit.
Yes, it does have a hammer. It does have a tinderbox and 10 torches and 10 rations.
I don't have a hammer. I have tinderbox rope, explorer's pack stuff.
I think you should have one.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, you should have one.
Okay, hammer, cool. Okay. So can we assume that we filled up our water
Yes.
skins and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can fill that up at the well. If you want to buy adventuring gear, there is a shop in town.
I think I'm okay.
Pete, you said you were wanting to buy stuff.
Yeah, essentially, I'd like to get some yield the equivalent of wet weather gear. So a wax tarpaulin, just uses a waterproof cloak or something if it goes a bit nasty. And if possible, a small bag of dried kindling.
Okay. Yes. You go to the store. You meet it's a human lady behind the counter. There are things on display in the shop, like your standard adventuring gear, as well as standard fishing gear and farming equipment, things like that.
When you say standard fishing gear, do they have those things where like waders, kind of thing?
Yes.
Can I buy some waders?
You can.
Cool.
Waders will cost you 1 gold piece.
Cool.
And the party's aesthetic goes from strange to downright weird.
In Pete, for your sort of waterproof tarpaulin, that's going to set you back 2 gold pieces, but you can use it not only as a really big cape, but you could also shelter under it.
Thank
cool.
you. And how much for the bag of kindling, if you have one?
That's going to be 5 silver pieces.
We're making some decent purchases today. Can you throw it in for less?
5 silver pieces.
Okay.
And just to complete the look, I'm going to take a fishing rod and line.
It could prove useful, so I'm happy with that.
That's another gold piece.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'll nab. No, I will not take a 10-foot pole, much as I might like to.
What is it with people in 10-foot poles?
It was great when I weaponized one last time.
With Alexander?
Yes. For those of you who, essentially there was in a previous game, we had another player who was a halfling who was attached to the end of a 10-foot pole and used.
He was attached to the end of a rope on the end of a 10-foot pole.
Oh yes, we're fishing with him. That was right.
Yeah, we went fishing over a cliff.
Yeah, with a halfling.
Yeah, we found the cave.
Yes. Anyway, back to this game.
Moving on. Okay. Yes. So the shopkeeper sells you your tarpaulin, your waders, a bag of kindling, fishing tackle, and then relieves you of. It would be 3 gold, 5 silver for Pete, and 1 gold for Amy.
Yep.
Unless you're buying anything else.
No, that's it for me.
Okay. So you now feel equipped for going swamp walking.
The best kind of walking. Okay. Sure. Okay. In which case, we head back out, and I guess we're going to meet up with the professor and start making our way.
Yep, she has her gear in a backpack. She has again, she's got her armor on. She's got she doesn't have waders on, but her boots do actually they would only really reach up to her knees, I guess. So you'd better hope that for her sake that it's not a particularly deep swamp. But yeah, she's there. As she says, are we walking or boating?
I think we're waiting.
Let me hang on. I'm just going to make a roll for myself. I think we should take the boat.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Are we gonna be able to afford that?
Be a couple of gold to at most to jump on board one of the fishing boats and get them to drop us off at the edge of the fens.
Okay.
It would certainly save us save our legs, but by the time they drop us off, I think it'll probably be too late to actually travel into the fens. We'll probably want to just get there, set up camp on the edge, and then move in tomorrow.
I thought
But we'll be well rested at least.
Yeah, I thought it was going to take us most of the day to get to the fens anyway. So
Well, yes, exactly. But this way at least, we'll we won't have to be. Well, we won't be tired at the end of today, or as tired.
I think that's a good idea then. Perhaps we may even be of service to one of the captains. He may require someone may get seasick. I may be able to help.
I think Captain might be overstating. This is a fishing village, not an anchorage.
Okay. Well, the chief of the boat, whatever it may be called.
Boat chief.
The fisherman.
The fisherman. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's go for the boat.
Okay.
I've not been on a boat before, so I do a lot of traveling, but I haven't been on a boat.
It's like a submarine that doesn't go underwater.
Yeah, I've not been on a submarine either, but okay. We'll go with that.
So, you wander through the village, and you come across to a little bit of a dock area. Here, unsurprisingly. Just a few wooden piers sticking out into the water, and you can see what are basically slightly larger than dinghies or wooden dinghies with their own little masts, with their own little sails. Although the sails are not deployed at this point, you can see oars there, and you can see each of them has maybe one. Well, it has one person in it. You can see looking at the boats, they've got their own little. There's only 3 boats in total because if you had more than that, you'd overfish the lake. Each of them have their own little sort of like chests at the back of the boat where you can see bits of fish that haven't been cleaned out. You can see they've obviously got their nets and whatnot. All 3 of the fisher folk are human men.
Okay, so can we tell which one is the captain? Can we go? Well, I say captain, the lead fisherman. Can we go up and?
They all look like. Sorry, when I say there's 3 of them, they each have their own boat. They're all sorting out their own boat. So
we'll only be able to fit like one person per boat.
No, you probably get all of you into one boat. Remember, 2 of you are dwarves.
Could I make? I'm sure I'm not sure what the check would be. I want to examine which boat looks like it's been well kept the most.
All right. Okay. I am going to make that check for you.
Okay.
As soon as I find your character sheet.
It's the one with 9 charisma.
Yeah, I know. It's that's not it. That's more than 9. That's not it. That is also more than 9. That's 9.
Do we just roll a d20 and you just add what you want?
They all look pretty sturdy to you.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to nudge my. I think we should let the professor do the talking here.
Yeah, I get that impression. I don't know anything about boats, so.
I don't know anything about talking.
Very well. Get your money ready. The professor walks up arbitrarily arbitrarily or not to the first fisherman and says, "Excuse me, sir. You wouldn't be interested in making a little bit of extra coin today, would you?" And this fisherman, he looks like he's a gentleman and he's mid to late 30s, dark hair, a little bit unshaven, a little bit scowly.
He's just my type. Yeah.
It sounds like me at work today.
Yeah, well, art imitates life. What are you talking about? What you need? Well, my friends and I are looking to travel down the road towards the fens, and we wonder if you might be fishing in that part of the lake today. If you would drop us just at the edge. What on earth are you going to the fens for?
Adventure.
History.
Suddenly, he looks less scowly, and his attention shifts from the professor to you two. Yeah, that's no problem.
I don't trust the man.
5 gold.
5 gold? I've got 4.
He looks at you, Pete.
Yeah,
Remember, you were both paid.
I know.
Oh, in advance? Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. And then, so I just hand over the 5 gold from myself.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Very
Pete, remember,
smart.
you're supposed to be charitable as well.
I know, but I feel he's fleecing us. There's a difference. Can I make an insight check on him to see if he's fleecing us?
Yep, you can make that. Actually, hang on. No, I will. Because
okay.
I don't want you to know if you failed. You have no idea. He seems genuine, but you're just not sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready to go on the boat.
Fair enough. I'll get on the boat, but
I have no idea what the going rate for going on a boat is because I am completely new to this.
You all fit in the boat. He says, "All right, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, okay." He bites the gold. Oh, that's okay. Okay, yeah, get in. Don't suppose you'd want to take a shot at the oars? He says to you, Pete.
I can do that. I'm also out the corner of my eye. I'm eyeing up some of the bits of leftover fish.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. I just thought for 5 gold you would be rowing us.
I guess it's. I'm just looking for a little bit of help. I mean, obviously, I'm going to do my share, but we're carrying. Wow, I don't normally carry passengers. I normally just row for myself, and there's not much wind today. Just looking for a little bit of help.
I will help. I will help.
Oh, you are so charitable.
The best. So I'm making a strength check or an athletics check.
Make it. Yeah, athletics is right. You're good at that, aren't you?
19.
Yeah, you're good at that. Is that all you got?
Yeah, I've not got it as I'm not proficient with it.
Neither you are.
Acrobatics, yes. Athletics, no. But
Okay.
I've still got a +2 to strength.
Yes, of course you do. Okay. So yeah, given that you've actually given him 5 gold, and it's quite a distance to the lake shore, basically. Okay, I guess since you're paying pretty well, then we'll just take you straight there. It's going to take it's going to take a few hours to get there. Take most of the day to get there. Well, we can stop along the way if you like. Stop and stretch your legs, or we can just go straight there. Your call.
I think we just go straight there, but you can just tell us what we see on the way.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm new around like this lake area. Like I've been quite a few times to Toromir, but not really been around the lake. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's nothing special about the lake. It's got fish in it. That's it.
Okay.
So you jump in. You all jump into the boat. It rides it rides low in the water, much lower than the other boats, but you would expect that. And the gentleman whose name is Jeff, he tells
Jeff the fisherman.
my go-to name for an NPC who is human,
My father was a
who
fisherman.
is not part of Dark Ages England or Scotland.
Ah,
That's a bugger and a half to name. There's only so many Ethelfleds you can have. Right, yes. Jeff the fisherman. He basically takes he takes one of the oars and plants himself on a bench and invites you, Pete, to sit down beside him, and invites Amy and the professor to sit in on the other seat. Like I say, the boat rides low, but it's not going to sink. It's not going to capsize unless you start playing Twister or something like that on the boat.
So I start to. So have we set off? Or
Yep.
are we?
We're about to.
Okay. I'm getting a bit nervous.
Okay, we've set off.
And I am instantly sick over the side.
You can make a Constitution save if you want,
Okay.
or not.
Sure.
You can choose to fail.
What's the Constitution? 2. 9.
You are sick over the side.
I am sick. I don't feel very good.
Wow, this is actually quite a calm day.
Oh, everything's spinning.
I immediately start rummaging in my herb pouch.
Not you. Not you.
Can I make a medicine check?
I think there are rules against treating patients without their consent.
I'm good.
Yeah, there will be.
Okay. Restrain the specimen and with the.
Okay, so yes, you are. The Jeff turns out to be he's not the most gregarious or friendly of people, but he does talk to you. He just tells you about it. He's lived in Tormere his entire life. He's fished these waters his entire adult and actually some of his childhood.
I'm currently lying like face down on the floor of the boat, like.
You're more likely to be face over the side. There's not that much room in the boat for you to be lying face down.
Okay, lying down with my arms draped over the side, and yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Okay.
a turn on the oars. The exertion will help you.
Just carry on. Let's just get there.
Okay. After about say probably 2 and a bit hours of rowing, he offers to share his rations with you. It's like biscuit.
Thank you. Yay.
It's bland.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going for Victorian semen here? Has it got worms in it?
No. It's good quality bland biscuit.
This is McVitie's bland biscuit.
Yes.
Okay.
Other bland biscuits are available.
I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yeah. The biscuit seems to probably be the least offensive food you've encountered.
Yep.
And it's almost like it's been designed with this sort of ailment in mind.
And I'm okay, so I'm half eating it, and then I'm like, oh my god, is this vegan?
What's that?
Oh god. Oh, fine.
Is it made using any animal product?
No.
Well, then that's fine, and I just eat it a lot quicker.
It's like
Chickens aren't animals, are they?
He just shakes the professor shakes her head. And you carry on. You and actually, Pete, could you make a Constitution saving throw, please.
That's a 7.
Yeah, you are actually getting pretty tired. And you can after about like say 4 hours of it, you're getting pretty tired, and you can see that it's not taking it as much of a toll on him as it is on you, and you're kind of grudgingly respecting that. I mean, yes, you're physically well built, but he's built for this because he's done this his entire life. Even although, obviously, the boat's carrying more than it normally is. So by the end of it, by the time the sun is starting to go. It's not going down, but it's making its downward. Its descent towards the horizon when the boat's actually basically coming in here. Your arms are aching. You can see that he's tired, and he said, "Look, I think I'm going to have to stop here with you this evening, if that's okay with you guys."
I turned to the professor. Is this far enough? Is this good?
Yeah, this is good. I mean, it's too late to go into the fens, but we'll be able to just cross over the bridge and then just head in a day's travel due west and a little bit to the south, and that should be, well, hopefully that's us to the statue.
Excellent.
Great.
This might sound weird, sir, but would you mind if I take a bit of that fish that's discarded?
No, I don't mind.
Oh, thank you. I'm just going to take up one of the fish heads.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll explain later.
I'm assuming it's not a delicacy so much as it is an ingredient for alchemy.
Fish scales, yes.
Yeah. I've played World of Warcraft. I know what herbalism and alchemy is. And fishing.
World of Warcraft fishing. Oh, bad memories.
Yeah, I got it up to level 200 at one point.
Why?
Because. Okay, so you and Jeff pull the boat up onto, basically, drag it just up onto the embankment a little bit. And
can I have a look around for any like kind of things that we could use to make a shelter with, like any tree branches or anything like that?
I don't think you need to roll for that because you are basically next to a forest.
Oh, okay.
I think you will have no problem finding certainly small and medium-sized branches. If you want to make a fairly serious shelter, then you can make a survival check.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You can roll this one because if you fail, you'll know it.
Because you won't survive. Wait, what?
No, it'll fall on top of you.
And I got a +6. 8.
So... You are able to find some small and medium-sized branches that you, and you're not really able to find anything large enough that you could make a shelter out of. You can find sheltered parts of the forest.
Okay, so I start to get really angry as I'm making this really terrible shelter, and I end up kicking it across the floor in a temper. And I'm like, I knew I should have bought a tent. I blame you.
Meanwhile, I found a stick and I'm just propping my tarpaulin up with it and lying underneath.
Make a survival check, please, Pete.
The stick stay upright.
No, to see if you found a stick big enough.
I'm a dwarf. Okay, 1D.
Yeah, right. I'm not just talking about height. I'm talking about solid.
I got a 9. I did better than her.
Yeah, it's not enough to make a tent out of your tarpaulin.
I use my fishing rod.
That's not strong enough, Pete.
Ah.
Oh no. I can produce flame though, so I make a campfire.
Yeah. Okay.
Effectively. Woohoo.
Hang on a second. I'm going to look at people's character sheets and see what you've got in your supplies. Because I might give you a common sense roll.
I have a bedroll, but
explorers packs do come up. They do have flint and tinder and stuff for starting fires with as well. And
it's not that I'm looking for.
Just on a random note, am I possible to do some fishing as well while we're camping for the night?
So-
you can do.
I'm trying to light this stick, and I'm like, is it wet here?
No, it's not particularly wet. I mean, obviously, closer to the water side it is, but the forest itself, it's fairly dry. So
Okay, so
be
it's
careful
okay.
what you do with the fire.
Yeah. So in a safe place, I make a fire.
When you say okay, I think I won't make you roll for actually making a fire pit or anything like that. It's definitely within your capability, that to the point that it's stupidly easy and you don't need to roll for that.
Okay. I wouldn't really have survived as a wanderer if I didn't have the ability to.
It's like roll to walk, roll to open the door.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's hardcore. That's hardcore D&D right there. That is.
You I jump into the water, you drown, but I've got swimming. You didn't see you were using it. Piss off. Yeah, that would be that. That's not hardcore D&D. That's just being a twat.
John, roll to walk.
One, you fall.
None of you specified your character was breathing.
Oh, not again. You pass out. Yeah. There are people who do stuff like that. I don't think there is many anymore, but there are. I have heard stories.
So, okay.
Sorry. Amy,
yes.
you go.
Okay. I was just gonna kind of ask if I could get into the tarpaulin because it's getting dark. I guess. Is it getting dark?
It will be shortly. The professor suggests actually. Hang on a second. I've got an idea. And she says, "We've got all these trees here, and this tarpaulin's quite big. Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay. It is a reasonable size. Yes.
Why don't we stretch it above us between the trees?" And she says, "I've got some of these," and she pulls out a bag of pitons.
And I pull out a hammer.
She also has a hammer.
I've also got a hammer.
Yeah, it'd be rubbish having like a bag of pitons and I'm going to use my face.
Hey, I'm a monk. The hammers are my fists.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can stretch the tarpaulin between some trees to give you some shelter.
Okay. No, that sounds great.
So you got the best of both worlds: tenting and not tenting.
Tenting.
Okay.
Just I think it's just for are myself and Jeff both fishing, or is it just me?
He actually has more nets than he has a net more than a fishing rod, so it's not so helpful on shore.
Okay. Okay. So how does one fish?
Oh, I'm gonna go with
Dexterity? Nature? Wisdom?
Survival, surely.
Survival?
I'm thinking survival.
Okay.
I could always maybe try and get Jeff to go and help you, assist you in some way.
I have
You go fishing. You see, the professor says, "I'll be back shortly," and she wanders off into the woods by herself.
It's not safe to go off by yourself. I call it after.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll be fine. I won't be far. I won't be far.
I go underneath the tarpaulin and start to like arrange rocks into a circle so that I can sit in the center of them.
Oh, that went in an entirely different direction than I was expecting. I then set fire to myself.
In protest.
Okay. Yeah, you can. There are certainly enough rocks around that you can make a circle to sit in.
This is my end of day ritual.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. Do you want to? Oh, I don't know. Make a religion check.
Okay.
Because I think it's. I think this would go. I think this would be religion.
Mm-hmm. 17.
You feel quite at ease here.
Mm-hmm.
Back on dry land, the water is definitely not your element. You come to that conclusion. Water is not your element.
Yeah.
Land is your element. And I'm imagining you kicking off your boots and just sort of like wiggling your toes in the dirt, and then crossing your legs and just sitting in the circle, thinking, "Yes, this is nature. Just me, these trees, this tarpaulin draped over me. Fine."
Yeah.
Because it's to keep the water off, obviously.
Feeling calm. Feeling calm.
Yeah, feeling very calm. You can have. I'm going to let you have a point of inspiration for that. So that's basically you have that you will have to use this session. You can basically remove disadvantage or add advantage to any dice roll this session.
Thank you.
No problem. Pete, you catch 2 fish.
Hooray! Dinner is served.
You come back with 2 fish, and you find Vi meditating among her ring of rocks. You have seen her do this before.
Mm-hmm.
The professor appears maybe about 15 minutes later. She is carrying 3 rabbits.
This looks like an interesting stew in the making.
Well, maybe not. Well done. Perhaps you can roast them on a stick or something like that, and I'll cook these in a pot.
Yes, let's go for it.
Also,
just bear in mind, my companion here who's meditating it right now doesn't eat animals.
I did find some potatoes.
I was actually about to suggest going to forage to see if I could find some seasoning herbs and so forth.
I found these, and she pulls out 2 potatoes.
So at this point, I kind of because there's kind of a lot of talking. I break a bit of my concentration and go, okay, maybe in a little while, and then I feel okay now anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, potatoes and stew, yay! I'm happy with this.
Okay. Feeding, you don't need to use any rations, basically. You've managed to forage for food. There is enough there. Jeff has some more biscuits, which he supplies. He doesn't want to... he wants to save some for his return journey tomorrow, but he's happy to share what he has and what he can.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
Well, what can I say? You guys paid well.
Narrows eyes suspiciously.
You paid well. Okay, out of character. You paid well enough for him to basically take 2 days off and not care. Okay. Probably 5 gold pieces. Come on.
Yeah.
He could live on that for a couple of months easily.
Yep. Villagers. Anyway,
quick, adventurers are coming to town. Quick, put out the adventurer prices. Yeah.
Just before going, can I actually go for a little bit of a wander in the forest and see if I can see any interesting looking plants that I have yet to notice?
Make a nature check.
Oops. Yeah.
You do, however, notice you're being watched by an owl.
It's having a hoot.
Yep.
It appears to be some kind of bird. After a while, I will scrape off some random moss from something and then head back to the camp.
Never to be beaten. Okay. Yes. You head back to the camp.
Did you find anything?
I hold up some moss, which I promptly put in a mug, add some water, and put it on the campfire to cook.
Yeah, my disgust is like visible in my face. Yeah.
Actually, you might have. It might not be disgusting. Actually,
Yep.
Yeah, but he kept all the mud on the bottom of it.
okay, fair enough.
I said I scraped it off a tree. It's fine. It's got a bit of bark.
Oh, is it bark? Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with bark.
Are you two doing anything before you're bedding down for the night?
I'm going to sip on this novelty tea and see if I feel any worse or better.
Worse
Okay.
or better than what? Were you feeling bad or?
No, I'm just it's just to determine whether or not it has any medicinal effect.
Oh, okay.
Yes, actually, to be fair, that is how. I used to be friends with a guy who had a chemistry textbook from the 1930s, and one of the primary identifiers of chemical compounds was the flavor.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So they
Yep.
were. Yeah. You can't hold it down, Pete.
Okay, I will spit it all back out up in
Yeah.
the mug, and I'll be like, well,
I'm not going to have a repeat of the previous night, but yeah, you can't hold it down. You spit it out. It's vile.
Purgative Mark II. I shall make a note of that particular type of moss for later use.
All it managed to get rid of was itself.
My disgust has returned to my face, and I'm like, no, calm down, it's fine. And then I just breathe in a big rush of air into my lungs, and then I settle down for the night beneath the tarpaulin.
Okay. Anything else you would like to do before we move forward?
I presume as long as Jeff and the professor are bedding down as well, then no.
Okay. So you bed down. Give me one moment, please, whilst I actually consult some charts.
We should have set a watch, possibly. Actually,
I literally just thought this. I thought I went to sleep, but I assumed that there would be someone watching, like maybe Jeff.
And what did assumption do?
if we get attacked in the middle of the night, we have to just wake up and yell, "Jeff, what are we paying you for?"
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what are we paying this guy for?
Jeff's
Useless.
already dead.
He's already dead.
You imply he was ever alive? No.
Okay. It is half past the middle of the night when you hear an owl hooting.
I knew it. It's back.
Is that same bloody owl?
Quite frantically. And it's making a hell of a racket, and the professor, you can north, and you can see her sort of like sitting up bolt upright.
Do I like hear it as well? Like, do I?
Oh yeah, you can hear the owl.
Okay, so I stay as quiet as possible, but I get up and draw my scimitar.
Yeah. Could you both of you make perception checks, please?
Yes. 21.
11.
Okay. Maury, you can see you can hear an owl going hoot 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 hoot. Obviously, because that's obviously the noise an owl makes, and not a mockery of owls at all. However, Vi, you can actually see shapes approaching through the tree line towards you. You can see 3 human or humanoid individuals heading towards you.
Okay, so has the campfire kind of burned down? Have we allowed it to burn down, or?
I'm gonna say it's probably burned down, but it's got probably glowing embers by this point.
Okay, is there any light from it that can, I can point them out to the party, or?
We have dark vision.
Pete, you have dark vision.
Oh, you have dark vision. Okay, it's just I don't. So
The thing is, being able to see by firelight and dark vision are mutually exclusive. You can see them approaching without dark vision. It's dark, but you can make it out.
Okay.
You can point them out. If you give me one moment, please, I am going to make a couple of rolls. Could you roll for your initiative, please?
Yay! That's a 15 in my case, plus your dexterity modifier.
Mine's just 13.
Okay, so
I'm +3, so sorry. 15.
okay, so the professor is actually going first. Then it is Murray Halfist on 15. Then it is Vi, and then it is Mook 1, Mook 2, and Mook 3. That sounds like a really, really insidious McDonald's menu. I bet they have gherkins and tomato ketchup on them as well.
No, we're stabbing it.
I actually don't know what they look like as in Amy, not Vi, but I don't know. Can I know what they look like? Or...
What do you mean?
Humanoid silhouettes.
Oh, right. Yes, they're humanoid silhouettes.
Oh,
you reckon
okay.
they're humans.
Oh, okay. Right.
They are armed.
Can I, just as we're sort of scrambling to our feet and everyone's getting ready, I look around and suddenly go, Jeff, where's Jeff?
You cannot see Jeff.
He's not an initiative harder. What's going on?
Okay, the professor gets to go first. And she has a hand crossbow.
Mm-hmm. And she can see them too, or?
Yes, she can.
Cool.
She is going to end up. You can see her twanging her crossbow, and it goes thumping into one of the attackers. And it catches them square in the shoulder. And you can, because she rolled remarkably well. Pete, it's your turn. You can see 3 humanoid attackers. As they're getting closer, you can both see that they have sort of curvy blades.
How far away from them am I?
You are going. They were almost on top of you when the owl started hooting, so you're within 30 feet.
Okay, I get up, I run up to the nearest one, and I am going to punch him right in the face, or attempt to at least.
Okay, that's your unarmed attack, is it?
Yes, because monk.
Yes. Okay. Is that
I believe it's plus dexterity, so I think it's +5 versus armor.
Yes.
I should copy this one, actually. Well,
that hits. Your damage is going to be a D4 plus your dexterity.
Yep. Is it not plus my strength?
It's either or.
It's whichever's highest, I think.
Basically, yeah. You can use strength or dex.
Whack!
Okay, you go straight for the one that's already... the closest one is the one that's just been shot at, and you hit him pretty solidly. He is teetering.
Excellent.
It is Vi's turn.
Okay, so I'll go for the one that is basically, if there's one directly in front of me, I'll go for the closest one to me.
Okay.
Not the one that was just aimed at. And I'll use my thorn whip to whip him and cause damage to him, hopefully.
Okay, that's a spell attack, isn't it?
It is. It's a cantrip.
Yes. But it uses your spellcasting modifier,
which is +6.
Okay, yep. Roll.
Oh, it's r slash, isn't it?
It's /r.
/r. That'll be why. Sorry. 14.
Still hits.
Whoop.
It's a D8 damage, isn't it?
It's just a D6 at the moment.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm really bad at this. Oh, why? Why do I do this? It's /r again. It's /r, isn't it?
It is /r.
Why? Yeah. How have I done it all this time? And now I'm like, 5.
Okay. Yeah, you. It's a temporary conjuration, isn't it? But you can recast it next turn.
Yeah, so it comes out of my hand like a vine-like whip, and then.
Yep, no problem. You surge forward, and it's sort of like I'm imagining a vine sort of thing shoots out of your hand as you raise it up over your head, and you can see thorns sprouting along it as you strike down, and it sort of like shreds down this attacker, and it sort of like rips through his face. Or cuts his face, not rips through his face, because that would be really grim.
He's also pulled toward 10 feet closer. It says if the creature is large or smaller.
You're both human.
If the creature I'm targeting is large or smaller, so if he's medium, then
he's the same size category as you.
So yeah, he's pulled 10 feet closer to me.
Okay.
Hug.
Get over here.
Yeah, one of my favorite Mortal Kombat character. And I'm not talking about the movie. It was shit. Okay, Maury, you are being slashed at by Muck Thug in front of you. And Muck Thug misses. Oh my, the one in front of Vi drops his scimitar.
Does he have a McFlurry of blows?
No, if they were monks, would do. And actually, technically, you do. You could have made a second attack, Pete. As a bonus action, if you use a monk weapon or an unarmed strike, you can use a bonus action to make another unarmed strike.
Yes, I know, but...
Thug number 2 drops his scimitar because he rolled a 1. The GM is now going to change to a different dice because that one seems to be rolling well for you guys and shit for me. Pirate number 3, or Thug number 3, is going to run into combat range with... it's probably going to be Maury, actually. Because the one in front of Maury's been badly hurt, and the professor's shot him. Maury's punched him, and he. What's your armor class, Pete?
15.
Okay, you are very fortunate. Oh, actually, hang on. No, I didn't apply his modifier. He hits.
That's right.
Yeah, sorry. He actually rolled a 15, and his modifier takes him above. Take 4 slashing damage, please.
Ouch.
And I am now going to roll a d6. And it's going to be Prof. Wi-Fi. Okay. A crossbow bolt comes whizzing out of the woods and just streaks past the professor's head.
Haha.
It is now round 2. Seeing that you have McThug 1 well in hand, the professor is actually spending her turn scanning the woods, and she seems to be hooting,
right,
making hoot noises. Not actually sounding like an animal, but sounding like a dwarf making hoot noises. Just in case you think she's talking like an animal. She's
Yeah, it sounded
not.
like because of the owl. It seemed like she was just trying to be like, "Thank you, owl."
Thank you, owl friend.
So he's trapped down the well.
Again?
The third time this week.
Yes. Are you pushing him, Lassie?
No.
Okay. She is going to. Well, she was never actually in melee range with McThug number 1. She actually is going to make a circuit around the combat that you're currently in, Pete, and heads into the woods.
But we're fighting here.
Yes, you are. And it's your turn.
Okay. So the guy in front of me is quite badly hurt.
Very badly hurt.
Okay. I have just noticed on my character sheet about the whole martial arts thing that for some reason the one from Aurora Builder doesn't explain the whole extra attack business.
Possibly you didn't have the card for that specific action, but because I've got a monk in my other game, I remember that ability.
Okay. I have since looked up on the 5th edition on D&D Beyond, so I've got it in front of me now.
Cool.
Yes, okay, no problem. Yep, so I will punch him again.
With violence.
It's the solution for so many problems. The 16.
That hits. Amy, don't forget you've got inspiration till the end of this session.
Another 6
yes.
damage.
Thank you.
Pete.
Yes.
Do you want to narrate how badly he goes down? Because you've done more damage than was needed to
incapacitate.
Yes.
Essentially, as he's reeling from the first blow, as he sort of leans forward again, I'm going to essentially just give him a quick jab to the stomach and then uppercut him right in the nose. There's a splintering noise as he slumps straight forward.
Pete also have inspiration till the end of the session.
Thank you.
1 dice roll. Okay, it is Vi's turn.
Okay, so I will use Thorn Whip on the same guy again, but I'll aim for his nostril, and I'll use inspiration.
Okay. You're
29.
25.
Oh, 20. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But that's fine. I was going to say the difficulty hit is going to increase by 5 because that's a called shot. You hit. I'm going to. I can't specifically remember the rules for called shots, so I'm going to say roll your damage and add 4.
Okay.
Because it's basically a head strike.
Okay.
If only advantage actually worked that way and you could just add them both together. What did you roll? Natural 40.
What did you roll? A natural 2.
I was gonna say I didn't realize that it did that. I'll have to remember to take off the lower number there.
Yeah,
So yes, anyway, 10 damage.
Okay. Yes. Would you like to narrate how badly you knock him into dying?
Okay, so as he's a little closer, I can target really well, like his nostril, and I go straight into the nostril, out through the ear with the Thorn Whip, straight through the head, and then rip it back out again.
Very, very grim, but I'm going to allow it. That's very, very grim. Hang on a second. I'm just going to write down that Dark Druid. He was against nature.
Because I said so.
I really need my beauty rest, okay?
Yeah, well, to be fair, they were sneaking up on you in the middle of the night, according to an owl. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So I can cross that one off because bleeding out. Also that one. McThug number 3 is still standing and is going to have a go at Pete because you're closest.
Indeed.
And hits.
Ouch.
Take 4 slashing damage.
Okay, I am going to need to rest and heal after this.
It's a good job there's a healer amongst your party.
Yes, there is.
The professor is off doing a thing in the woods right now. So it's back to... You don't know what she's doing. Yeah, actually, hang on. Both of you... actually, hang on. I'm going to...
Mental.
Yeah, you can both hear twang, twang in the woods.
I've got this horrible mental image of us sort of fighting, and all we can hear is hoot, hoot, twang, twang, hoot, 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 twang, hoot, hoot.
Actually, yeah, yep, that's about the size of it.
This is the worst John Woo movie ever.
Yep. Yeah, John Woo movie with crossbows in every hand.
Crossbows akimbo.
Yes. Anyway,
okay. Moving on. Back to me then.
It is back to you because of the twanging in the woods.
Well, seeing as he's walked up to me to hit me, I'm going to hit him right back.
Okay, that's fine. Go for it.
Oh, not
That's
natural. Yeah, but it's not natural.
It is a dirty 20.
Can I roll my bonus attack at the same time and do damage together, or do you want them separately?
You know what? Ultimately, it makes no difference to me. So, yeah, go for it.
Ooh, it's taking its time this time. That's because I didn't put a slash in.
I'm glad it's not just me.
When we started using Roll20 for the first time, this amount of times we got it wrong, it's unreal. I mean, 2.5 years into a campaign, we got there in the end.
10 damage to him.
Yep. Okay. Yep. He is reeling on his heels. He's still standing, but yeah, badly injured.
Better than he's ever been. Looking like a true survivor.
Oh dear.
And that moves us on to Vi next.
Okay, so as my can I tell if he, or I suppose I can't see if he's like very injured or not?
Which one?
Yeah.
Like, I've had enough of this dwarf time. The opportunity has finally arisen.
I mean, he's the last enemy I can see, right?
Oh right, okay, sorry. The enemy that is still standing that is not Pete's character.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, going so well, John. So well. We're almost like we're gelling so well as a party.
I think it's going well.
Yeah. So sorry. So McFug number 2.
3.
So is he like looking? Can I tell if he's
You can
getting woozy? Like if he's tripping over and stuff, or
from the description of Pete's attack, he is reeling. You can't see any visible damage, but when the punches landed, you did hear cracking.
okay.
And, your experience of traveling with him tells you that probably means broken ribs.
Okay, so what I wanted to do was to produce flame in my hand, but not. Oh my god! Just saw a massive bacon and egg McThuggin. Nice.
I was thinking gammon and egg.
Yeah. So I wanted to produce flame in my hand and then like intimidate him with it into stopping what he's doing, like, and just to freezing.
You can produce flame without a dice roll, but I think it's just an action, and it's a cantrip.
Yeah.
And
can I kind of make it really uncomfortable, like get up really close to him to the point where it's almost burning him, and then
before you make the intimidate check,
roleplay
what you're doing.
Sorry. Okay. So roleplay what I'm doing.
Yes.
Okay. So I produce a flame in my hand and go really, really close to him, like to the point where if he had a beard, it would like singe it. And I'm like, stop what you're doing right now. And like drop your weapon. And then if he makes any move to attack me rather than stop, I will just burn him. Flame grilled.
I don't think you can use the produce flame as a weapon, but you can make the intimidate check, please.
Oh, it says I can attack with the flame.
Does it? Okay.
Sorry, you can attack with the flame.
Okay.
You can attack with the flame, but if you do it, it ends the spell if you attack with it. So I can intimidate with it, perhaps.
Well, you can keep it in your hand.
Yeah.
And then attack. The intimidate would be this turn's action.
Yes.
Okay. Roll your intimidate. I'm going to let you know.
Yeah.
When you light this up, this guy, you can see that he's got a very grim expression. You can see that he is absolutely aware that his two companions are down, and you can see that they're in a really bad way, particularly the one who you gave a brain enema to. You would have expected him to be more alarmed than he is.
So, so when I light up his face, can I make an assessment of how I would act to him, or not, or am I just going to go up and instantly be like, "Stop"?
No, when I was asking you to role play, I was wanting. I was assessing what you were planning to do.
Oh, okay.
Because if you just. It's a straight dice roll if you just say I intimidate him, absolutely fine. If you come up with something inventive, maybe I give you advantage. If you do something completely unrealistic, then it's disadvantage.
Okay, I see, yeah.
You don't get advantage for this, and you get this sense that he's going to be a hard nut to crack.
Okay, then. So I'll just roll then.
Yep.
8.
Yeah, not even with the amount of injury he's sustained, he's not for breaking at this point.
Okie dokie. So, just like on this, I can't tell if I get any bonus actions.
Everybody gets a bonus action every turn.
Yeah, but I can't tell what I can do as a bonus action.
A limited amount of things.
Yeah. A bonus action would be picking something up, equipping a weapon, drinking a potion, stuff like that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Some spells or cantrips also have a casting of a bonus action.
That is also true.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he sorry, no can do, and he sort of like turns and swings his scimitar at you.
Mm-hmm.
What's your armor class?
13.
Yeah, he misses. He strikes at your torso, but you're just a little bit more nimble than he is, given that he's actually. Maybe he'd have got you if he wasn't so badly injured.
Mm-hmm.
In the woods, you can hear twang, twang.
Woot, woot.
In that order.
That owl is doing some damage.
It's got a crossbow. What'd you expect?
Owl with crossbows. I've never thought of this before. It's like their cavalry. Back to Mori, Nori, Snorri, whatever.
Mori. Okay, so because he's turned away from me, and is attacking Vi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what I kind of want to do is I'm going to use the inspiration point here if I can.
Yeah.
I want to reach up and grab his extended arm that's holding a scimitar and hammer punch it right on the elbow. I'm potentially going to break his arm, but then also sweep his leg and slam him onto the ground.
I'm going to allow this. Again, it'll be a difficult... difficulty is going to be +5 to hit him, but it's going to... You can use dexterity or strength, whichever you'd prefer, and with inspiration, you roll the d20 twice.
Okay. Am I getting my proficiency on the attack as well, yeah?
You on the attack roll, so long as you're proficient with the weapon, you always get your proficiency bonus.
So here's your
You just-
advantage roll. Well,
You know what? In all of my
20,
years of
23
playing
either
5th
way.
edition, I've never seen that happen. Okay, yes, you hit. I am going to roll your damage and add 4.
I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just trying to incapacitate him. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Do you want to pull your punch?
Essentially, I'm aiming. I'm doing. It's damaging, but it's non-lethal. If that makes sense.
Does, however, he's also suffered quite a lot, and you could be putting him into shock, and you would know that.
I can treat shock. I've got herbs.
Not if. Okay, well, yes, you punch him in the elbow exactly as you describe, and there is an almighty cracking sound and a shriek of agony. He drops his weapon, and then he follows it. He drops himself. He's out cold. He appears to be unconscious.
Okay. I am going to kick the weapon away, and then haul him around a little bit. And then I'm going to start tending to his arm, but also restraining it, if that makes sense. Like binding him so he can't escape.
I will. Are we out of initiative now?
You are out of initiative order.
Okay, so in that case, I'll hold up I'll produce flame and hold it close so that you can see what you're doing.
I sort of wave your hand away. Dark vision is fine. I'm okay. Can you heal us, please?
So I can see what you're doing. No, that's fine. Okay, yeah, I can cure your wounds.
Hooray!
Hooray! So if I just do this. So it's 7 plus spellcasting ability modifier. What's that? 6 plus
Wisdom.
Oh, wisdom. 6 plus 6. 7 plus 6.
It'd be +4. Just
Plus
your
4.
wisdom modifier.
Yeah. You don't get your proficiency on it. It's just the modifier.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. No
You get proficiency on rolls to hit, but not on rolls to damage.
Okay. Yep. Cool. So yeah, 7 plus 4 for you.
That returns me back to full.
Yes, you are at full health.
Hooray! I only have 10 hit points.
You're both level 1.
I only have 10 hit points.
Me too.
The professor returns from the woods. She looks not particularly ruffled or anything like that. There is an owl sitting on her shoulder.
Oh, okay. Nice of you to join us.
There was a crossbowman out back there.
Oh, okay.
The one that shot me, or tried to.
Aha.
You remember when the crossbow bolt went whizzing past her face in Rangborn?
I was too busy trying to whip the other guy.
Yeah. Yes. You seem to have managed quite well by yourselves anyway. That she then sees McThug number 2. What on earth? I'm going to make a ruling given the damage you described on McThug number 2. There's no stabilizing that one with a thorn whip through the nose and out of the ear.
Yeah.
There's no healer's kit in the world that's healing that.
No, that's not the intention.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
To be fair, the other one appears to have his nose rammed into his skull.
Yeah.
I'm going to point at the guy that I'm kind of tending to, just going, listen, let's stabilize this guy. We can interrogate him. He might know something interesting. Does he have any insignia on his clothing, anything else like that?
You can make a search of all of them, in fact.
Excellent.
I'll go for the brained one and go in and make a search of him.
Okay. You
investigation?
Yes, make an investigation check.
That's a 7.
So
They
it
appear
is.
to be some kind of human.
That runs on some kind of electricity.
I understood that reference.
Okay.
Right, 21 for me.
Yeah, so the apothecary finds 3 bodies and very basic information. Obviously, these are men in their 20s or 30s. They're all human. They are all reasonably muscled. This is what you're both getting. None of them are actually wearing shoes. What?
Interesting in a bog.
Indeed.
Well, I guess they wouldn't have any need for them, perhaps, in the water, but ugh,
But yes,
gangrene.
that's what both of you get. Well, hardened individuals, no shoes, common clothes. They appear to have between them they've got about 6 gold, a scimitar each, a dagger each.
If you say between them, they've got 6 gold. Like, you say yoink, but hey, I'll pay for the boat.
And actually, to be fair, only you would find the gold first because of your investigation check.
All I'm meaning is that the gold will be appropriated.
Yoink.
Yes, that's the noise of a gold being appropriated. Okay, what Vi finds when she's searching, on 2 of them, the one that went down last and the one that you whipped through the skull, you find some of the gold there. You find their weapons. The one that had the whip through the skull has a map of the local area.
Great. Okay.
Also has a compass.
Yeah.
The one that went down first, the first one, also has a note that has the description of Professor Oakenhart's a description of her, and instructions to intercept her before she reaches the fens.
Okay.
There is no signature on the note.
Okay, so I'll go over to the professor and give her the note quietly, just so that she can have a read and react as she feels she needs to.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there's one other detail on the note. They're looking for any maps, journals, logbooks, anything like that the professor might be carrying.
Okay. I'll go over to her and I'll just say, do you think you've got any of these things on you that could be of interest to them?
Well, the maps and I suppose my the notes that I have. I don't know what else they'd be able to get from them, because all the useful information that we were able to extract from my research that went into my notes went into that map. Finding the statue, finding the village. So
it seems that your thoughts are right, and they are trying to find it at the same time.
Yeah. Maybe we should, if they're coming for the map, do you think maybe we should destroy it?
Do you know the way without it?
I am reasonably confident that individuals of our skill will probably not suffer massively in the swamps without it.
What do you think, Murray?
I'm making one of my own rolls here again. Sorry.
You don't need to roll, Pete. You can make a decision.
I know, but I find sometimes if I can't decide what my decision is going to be, then I defer to the dice. The dice says
51.
Yes. I have an idea. Why don't we tear it into 3 sections and each take a piece?
That is actually weirdly exactly what I was going to suggest. I was going to say we should perhaps split the information she had up, but if it's all in the maps, then yeah.
Hmm.
I think under the circumstances, maybe if actually, I'm convinced that the map itself is the most useful thing I'm carrying. My notes are my notes are not going to be of any more use than the map, and everything I need to know, anything that's beyond the map other than search this village place. Well, it's and she taps her head, and they'll never get that.
Okay.
So yeah, okay, she says, "Light that fire again," and she points to the fire pit.
No, we'll rip it into 3.
No, and she pulls out her journal. Light that fire again.
Oh, okay. And then I produce flame,
Okay.
and then make a little fire.
She burns her notes.
Dun dun dun.
I think we probably. You look like you've been through the wars there, Maury. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine now. This gentleman, on the other hand, well,
Hang on a second. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm keeping track of what score they're currently at.
I have got a healing kit, so I'm actually.
Yes, I'm aware you have 3.
Yes. Do you think we can try and stabilize him and see if we can get some information out of him?
I mean, that's kind of why I wanted to try and intimidate him, but you managed to knock him out before we could have a chance.
Well, he was trying to hit you with a sword at the time, but next time I guess I can let him do it if you really want.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
As much as it pains me to say it, but if we, yeah, part of me says yes, we absolutely. If he's not dead, we should perhaps try and nurse him, spare his life. But what do we do with him? It's not like we can take a prisoner with us. And where's Jeff?
I have no idea. We paid good gold for that guy.
Is the boat still there?
You make a search of the shoreline. The boat is indeed still there.
Boat is here, but Jeff.
You don't need to make a roll for that. The boat was never hidden. It's a boat.
Oh, so he's not gone far. Maybe we could just put this guy in the boat and then just push him out.
Can we possibly make a bit of a tracking sort of check to see if we can see if we can track Jeff's footprints?
Make a survival roll, whoever is doing it.
Yeah, go for it. I'll have a little look around. I'll see what you're doing and have a look. +6, so yeah, 14. Hello?
Yeah, I was waiting for Pete to do a roll.
We're both doing one. Okay.
I thought you were both doing.
Yeah. I was watching you doing that and then copying.
Well,
surprisingly, actually, Maury is the first one to find some prints. It looks like you find some prints leading away from the camp, leading to behind basically just behind a bush from the camp, and then actually they're both quite good rolls, so you're both going to get this, Pete. You've got a clearer picture because the magnitude of your success, but you can see that he's left the camp. He's wandered past the bush. You can see actually where he's just brushed past it and broken the twigs there. You can see that he stopped for a second, and then there seems to have been some kind of scuffle. And then you actually find, you both find evidence of the scuffle, but Pete, it's you that actually finds the sort of like the drag marks about 10 feet away, and you find his body. He has had his throat cut. Jeff, no!
We'll take his boat. It's what he would have wanted.
And I'll get my gold back out of his pocket.
I was waiting for that one.
You are both going to what passes for hell in this realm. Actually, I haven't got to that level of the cosmology yet. I think I'm going to have to now.
The special
Yes.
level of hell reserved for boat thieves.
Yes, the worst kind of thief. Yes, okay. Yes, it looks like he's left the camp for some reason, gone behind a bush for some reason, and he's been jumped.
Am
Basically,
am I stepping in that reason at any point?
not that you can determine. Oh, come on, that's not going to be a running thing. And yes, I know what I said.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Oh,
So we tie up this guy. We try and bring him round. Not Jeff. I mean the other guy.
Yeah, it would be a bit redundant with Jeff.
Well, I've already tied him up. He's already
So
tied.
right, okay. So we get this guy. We bring him back. We then put him in the boat with Jeff, and then we set it on fire to give Jeff the burial he needs.
He's not a Viking,
He's a fisherman.
but it's a very useful boat.
True.
We can sail to all sorts of places in the boat once you learn how to row properly.
Hey, I have to learn how to not throw up properly first.
You'll get your sea legs in no time.
Okay, I'm sure.
Okay.
I just didn't want to go back on that boat again.
Well, at the minute, I think we need to deal with this guy. We need to work out what we're doing with him.
Actually, there were two that were still technically alive when you left the camp.
One of them had a needle through his brain that was made.
Remember, there were three. I was counting. That one is already dead. There is. By the time you've actually found Jeff and got back to the camp, only one of them is still alive.
Is it the one that I broke the arm of?
No, it's the one you broke the nose of.
Oh, okay. I intended to kill him, but okay.
So the other guy's tied up but alive. Tied up but dead now.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oops.
You have one that's still bleeding out.
He's yeah.
Okay. I will use my healer's kit on him. One
Okay.
of them.
Mark it off your character sheet. He is now stable.
Okay, so is that stable but unconscious?
Stable but unconscious at the moment. It's basically he's not going to die of his wounds, but he's on 0 hit points currently.
Okay.
He was on -10 when you stabilized him.
Okay.
Good times.
Hmm?
Good times.
Yeah, the other two. Well, the other two hit their minus limit.
Okay.
Actually, the thorn whip through the face didn't.
Okay. It doesn't. Each kit has 10 uses.
Okay, fine.
You want to use it again?
Just all it does is restore them to 0 hit points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without the need to make a save. So it's just to speed it up because otherwise, he could have died.
Okay. So
Okay.
will he wake up at any point, or will he just stay unconscious forever?
He will start to if medicine checks are done, he will start being restored to 1 hit point.
Okay.
Or
so
if you cast a healing spell on him, then you can heal him.
Can I start to do a medicine check on him?
I will start to bind his arms and legs.
Yes, do that. I'll let you
Okay.
do that first.
Okay. Could Pete? Could you make
Dexterity? Just straight dexterity?
Yeah, go for it.
Oop, I'm typing in the wrong window. That is typing on my character sheet.
His arms and legs are bound.
Okay. And I will roll to. 19.
Okay. Yeah. With the aid of the healer's kit has already actually treated, brought this individual back from the brink of death. A little bit of your knowledge of, I guess it would be first aid in this case. You're able to stop bleeding, clean out some wounds, and
Pull his nose back out.
pull his nose back out. That more than anything wakes him up, actually. But before you do that, pouring a little bit of water down his throat to sort of like try and clear it out of any gunk or gunge or anything like that, but only a little bit because you don't want to drown him. And then pulling the nose out of his head so that it doesn't actually get lodged in his brain or anything like that. You can see him starting to come round.
Okay. I don't think he's going to be any use to anyone this evening, but maybe we gag him?
I don't know if it would help him with his breathing if he has any issues.
True, but then if he wakes up before us, screaming, etc.
I will stay awake for another hour just to see if he wakes up or not.
Okay. So, shall we drag him under the tarpaulin and just...
We might as well, yes.
Yeah.
We'll drag him into place with the rest of us and keep him next to the fire, keep him warm, and then I'll keep an eye on him for a while.
Okay, yeah, let me know and I can wake up and do another watch as well.
Okay, sure.
And maybe we should watch next time and not leave it to Jeff.
Alas, poor Jeff, we appreciate the boat.
Yeah.
And your money.
Our money. Her money.
Yes. So, okay, so Maury takes our first watch. Like I said, when this scene started, it was 1:30 the middle of the night, so it is quite late. The professor and Vi both bed down. The owl perches above you. Hoot hoot. You can see that this individual they're drifting in and out of consciousness. They have a long road back to recovery, but they're not in imminent danger of death.
I'm just gonna gently just sort of tap his cheek a little bit. See if he wakes up.
His eyes open very slowly, and not very wide at all. He sort of like strains and looks at you.
But can I make a medicine check to evaluate his condition?
I don't think you need to make a roll for that. He's in a bad way.
Okay. Is it safe for him to be conscious?
Yes.
Okay. What's your name?
None of your business.
I am your attending physician. I am making it my business.
Don't even know what that is.
I am your phlebotomist. If you answer me properly, I'm not going to draw your blood.
I can't tell you anything you want to know.
Well, you don't even know what I'm going to ask. Oh, first question is simple. Why did you attack us? Do you want me to roll anything here?
Yeah, I think it's the same situation as when Amy tried to intimidate the other one. They're not easily spooked for reasons that you don't fully understand yet.
Okay. I'm going to roll a persuasion just in case. Well, it's 13.
It's not enough.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say, listen. At the minute, we're not intending to do you any harm. But you are potentially a threat to us. I only have one question myself. Not to do with the other guys, not to do with anything else. Are you working for Thok? Was it Thok? Thok Bloodfist?
He starts coughing and some blood comes out.
I'll take that as a yes then.
Take it however you want.
Very well. Well, rest up. My companions will decide what to do with you in the morning. I may have saved your life only to end it again.
Okay. How long of a watch are you keeping? He doesn't say anything more.
I'll go to bed after the next. Well, at the end of the hour, essentially, I'll go back to sleep.
Okay.
Are you gonna wake me up first or not? I don't like. I won't wake up
Well,
naturally, so I don't know.
What
Do
are
I?
you? Remember, are you an elf? Or are you human?
I'm
Human.
human.
Human, yes. You need an 8-hour long rest.
Yeah, yeah.
I am dwarf. I'll take a short rest for 4 hours if you're okay with taking a short rest for 4 hours as well, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll nudge you awake and I'll let you know exactly what I just said. Said if I can get 4 hours, you can wake me up again and get the rest of the night.
Okay, yeah.
Long rests actually do accommodate standing watches. Actually, I've read that in the rules.
Oh, okay. In which
Oh.
case, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
You're fine. I mean, you have been interrupted, but it's like an hour's interruption. You're not going to be spry the next morning, but you'll be able to function on full spell slots again for the
Okay.
purposes of assuming nothing else happens throughout the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming.
So yes. So with that in mind, Pete, are you standing for a longer than 1 hour watch?
Yeah,
Or...
I'll fill it to 4 hour.
Okay.
Okay, so am I taking over after the 4 hour?
Yeah, you'll take out about half an hour before dawn, essentially.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Actually, you
so...
can share it with the professor and do 3 hours each.
Okay, that works. That works.
Okay.
Then.
Yeah. So during my watch, I'm gonna have a go at intimidating him. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna get a my thorn whip, and I'm gonna be like, so like kind of getting it around my hands and stuff, and be like, so you saw what happened to your friend, right? And like, I'm gonna tell me all you know about this half orc.
You can have advantage for the intimidation check, but it's still a difficult check.
Okay. So I'll just do it twice.
Yes, roll the 20 twice.
And it's intimidation, which is +0. Woohoo! Okay, no.
No.
I'm not a very intimidating person.
Like I said, it was a tough test anyway, and yeah, sadly, those are not great
Not
rolls
good.
anyway. So yeah, he laughs. He sputters out a little bit more blood, and then sort of like drifts out of consciousness. The rest of your watch passes uneventfully, and the professor takes over after about 3 hours. And the rest of the night passes without incident. And I think that is the point we will call it quits for this evening.
Very well.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's
Nice
a good.
yeah.
I think that's a good stopping point. Impressions on first game.
I thought it was really cool. I really liked that. Yeah, it went quite well. I think like it wasn't except for me bumbling up the rolling of the dice.
Well, you should have seen some of the things I rolled. I got several ones.
I totally dramatically entered a saloon. That was totally cool. But no, it's fine. I think it'll be interesting when I think we'll be having one other join us next time.
Not necessarily, possibly.
Okay.
Is it Jeff?
Jeff is resurrected. Death cannot hold me. He's come back for his boat. Quick, run!
He died and made a deal with an arch fiend.
He claims
suddenly he's the main villain.
No, the boat catches fire and becomes the ghost boater.
Yeah, he incinerates fish just by boating over lakes. And his power works on anything that fishes.
But it was fine. It was good. I think it'd be interesting to see what happens next.
Okay.
I already don't trust everybody that you introduced to us so far. So
it's a good start.
yes.
Okay, I am going to stop the broadcast just now. I hope everyone, or anyone and everyone who's watched has enjoyed, and keep an eye out for the next session. Bye for now. Say bye people.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
bye, bye.